Hi everyone, welcome for this new community show. I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry I'm a little bit sick, but we are having a very exciting show because we have a new patch. So we're going to reveal the trailer, discuss about the patch note, discuss about the new content, including the content we have been hinting about, but you have no idea what we're going to do. And we will have a nice discussion all over the show with Genera the Grey, which is today my co-host. So you will get to know him, if you do not know him already, in a moment. Let's do this. Hello, Genra. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
I'm very happy to be here with you as well. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. So I'm going to introduce you very briefly, and after that, please comment about yourself. So Genra is one of our content creator and player. He's really awesome. But what do you have to say about yourself, Genra?
So I've been playing Embers since last December of not last year, but prior year. So I've been playing for about a year and a month now. Obviously, I love the game. I stream the game a lot. I play insanely long times with various characters. So just really hooked on the game. Love the community. Love the old school feeling that I get when I play the game. And just happy to be here and have this forum to talk about this new exciting stuff.
That's awesome. And you have started to stream with Embers Adrift, right?
Yeah, I never really streamed before. I started streaming this game really just to get the word out and to help advertise. And I've had a lot of people come in and ask a lot of questions about the game. So I feel like I can help, spread the word that this game is good for the people looking for that old school, MMO vibe from EverQuest and games of that nature.
Yeah, and I think you do really good because Genera's stream is quite particular and I would say almost unique in the sense where it's extremely chill. Most of the time, Genera is not always talking but sharing the action that's going on. And so it goes very well with that Embers Adrift vibe. And you have the chat room, which become a chat room where people are chatting with each other. Genera is going to chat as well. And I really like this way of streaming because you're practically always on when you play the game.
Yeah, I play this game in an insanely amount of time. It's really hooked me, and I love the variety of classes. I've got a couple of characters that are high level, but I've also just recreated, just to try out the different classes and experience the game and the content that I missed because so much has come out since I hit max level on my other characters. So I like to go back and use the other classes that I've never played before and explore places that I've never been just to get that fresh experience. So really love the fact that there's a lot of variety in the classes as well as a lot of variety in the content that's what's coming out.
That's super nice. So guys, please do check out Genra the Grey on Twitch TV. It's a very nice stream to get on when you're busy doing your own things or if you're working. If you have any question, Genra is very knowledgeable, so he will be able to answer most of the things and give you pretty nice tip about how to play the game, where to find the chests, etc, etc. I propose to check a little clip of your streams. I have taken two different selection to show different things. The first piece of action we have, you will have to comment about.
Yes. So this, I can even comment over the fight here. So this is the mammoth fight with all the high levels. Really difficult fight. It really took a lot of strategy and trial and error. We died probably numerous times before we ever figured out how to get this guy down. It's really been an exciting time. I've never seen so much level 50s pop up in the game, and even there's been a push for characters to get to 50. So there's been a lot of people I've seen really powering through the 30s up through the 40s and 50s. You know, and I think that a lot of that is because of the new content for the high levels. So really, really glad to see that there's a sort of like that carrot on the stick for folks to push to get to these levels and experience this new content. Here I'm probably farming for some Veil armor here or some leather. As we all know, hunting is very difficult to level up, but you know, lots of options for getting leather here in Grizzled Peaks.
And I really like the fact that you are giving very descriptive title to your VODs. So you're
Really
Twitch.
excited for the rest of Grizzled Peaks to come out as well. Right now that we've got about a quarter of the zone that we have been fighting in, and it already feels huge with just that quarter of the zone in the lake area, but really interested in the expansion of this zone.
Well, we are certainly very excited to share it either. There will be really cool stuff. We have very nice plan for that area, for the lore to reveal itself, but also to have really exciting fights. That being said, this is not the content we are going to release today. So we have some other news to share, which are going to be pretty exciting as well. But yeah, so I really like the way that you are always on your stream and always present for people that want to see some action going on, and it's a nice place to gather for the community. So that's exactly why we have content creator, because they are really cementing the community, and it's allowed to hang out with each other in a different chat, ask each other questions and stuff like that. So there it is. Follow Genera the Grey on Twitch TV, please, guys, and check out his video, because he do have all his VODs are nicely tagged with a title, like on a YouTube channel, so you can go through that. You have put a lot of work into this. I've been quite impressed when I was looking for a clip to see how well classified everything was.
Yeah, it's because a lot of times people judge this game by videos that are you know, over a year old, and you know, there was some criticisms about no content, or you know, a lot of the quality of life things that we see today. So I feel you know, confident that folks can come to my stream and see all the cool new things that are in the game now, as opposed to, you know, some video that came out maybe January of last year, where, you know, the game did not have near amount of content. So really enjoy sharing all the cool stuff that's come out, and always try to point people to my channel and my content to let them know, hey, there's more out there than year-old YouTube videos. Come check me out and, you know, see what this game does after offering its current state.
Nice. Speaking of new content, I propose that we are checking the new trailer. So guys, are you excited for the new trailer to discover, okay, before to watch the new trailer, because it will be revealed to you, this new feature we told you that we will be implementing in this month, that we never told before. So I asked every co-host on the SHOUTOUT last week what that new content was, and neither the Nathan Napalm nor Gulo Gulo nor Annoying Llama had any idea. So what will be your guess, Genera?
I'm guessing like a repeatable quest. I think like the old, was it Crushbone or Orc Belts from EverQuest, where you would collect those and then turn them in, you know, potentially faction based, but that would be my guess.
Okay, so a little bit like Quetzal. Quetzal have been saying that for a few weeks. I did notice you, Quetzal. So Genera, and Quetzal, you were kind of right. You were kind of right.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome addition. Like, just to have that ability. Lot could be. I think there's a lot you can do with these bulletin boards now that I'm seeing them, and it's just kind of got me thinking about all the possibilities. And you know, potentially even if outside of just solo quests, maybe start throwing group quests on bulletin boards. But I love the direction that this is going. On top of the solo loops, which, as you may have heard me in the past, talk about how much I love the solo loops and the dungeons that have them today, and now the lower level ones having that gap filled as well.
So I propose you to check out the patch notes, and after that we will be discussing about in depth about the topic of the week, which is the new content. The patch notes are revealed to you. We have been reading a lot of the patch notes the last few episodes, so if you want more details, I'm not going to read through everything. I'm just going to point out what's very important, and of course, the new stuff that we're very excited about, so I can explain you a little bit more of what this new bulletin board is all about. But there's a few lines that is important to check out. So of course you have plenty of issue regarding tech and environment and art. We talked about that last week. But then there is very important added new visual for some crossbow. More to come. So that was something that has been reported. As you are a warlord, Genra, did you have a crossbow as well?
I have not won that crossbow, but I did. I've seen a couple of them drop, and I know that they didn't look quite like the other glacial weapons. So it's really cool to see that that's being added, to kind of match the style of those other boss drops.
Yeah, and maybe next time you get on which mob she drop that crossbow.
I think we've seen it off of the tree and the bear. I don't remember, but I've seen the short and the long one both drop, or the heavy one.
Oh, nice, very nice. So, well, best of luck for next time, Genra. Hope you will get it.
Yes, one of these days.
So we have a different change in the interface. That's always interesting. Added a time indicator on the upper right of the character select screen, which show a day or night icon. The tooltip of this icon display further time information. I know some people was really excited about this. The map is now closed automatically after teleporting to an ember ring from the monoliths. Added the looking for group icon to /woo result if the player is currently looking for group. This is pretty interesting because a lot of people are doing and using this command woo that gives you any indication of who is online in your zone, and if you do /woo all, it gives you an indication to who is online, unless it's beyond 100 players. It stops at 100 players, so you will not see beyond that. But to have the little looking for group icon really show off who is looking for a group, meaning that you guys utilize the looking for group tool. If you want to find a group, or if you want to set up your group, use this tool. It's at your disposal, and if everyone is making an habit of using it, it's going to be much easier to form groups. And lastly, armor calculation on the equipment interface is now consistent with nameplates. There's a whole new list of design that has been added. I'm going to read this one because that's very important. Adjusted respawn volumes in Forgotten Depth 2 cave rooms to reduce the chance of a group splitting. Any cave room in Part 2 will now respawn near Grimstone entrance, while any brick hole will respawn near the bottom of the spiral stairs. Did you have this problem, Genra, when you were playing in Forgotten Depths?
Yeah, I've had that happen where it was either myself or someone else got the short end of the stick and got the the oddball spawn. So it usually evolved into a run through or go fetch the person. So really good to see that this one's corrected.
Yeah, because it's pretty annoying, especially during a dungeon which is difficult, like Forgotten Depth 2. It's already annoying when it happens in Stronghold, but you can take the rounds, the round by outside to get into the Dryfoot stronghold when it happened, and you go at the west entrance instead of the west. But here it's not really possible, and so it's a rescue mission.
Mm-hmm. Or a run through and train everything and just let me die and res me as close as I can get to you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyway, it was important to correct that. Move
Yes.
the Forgotten Depth to Egress Point to the Embering at the bottom of the spiral stair, which I think will be useful for the player that's playing through Forgotten Depth 1 as well, which is the upper stairs of Forgotten Depth. Moved Ember Drift entrance location for Toshbug Tunnel to be more central to Northreach. So those are not at the same place anymore. Added unveils to Retro Reach East and West Camp. Re-itemized stat for Dark Chitin and Carved Leather. Mob adjustment, so that's pretty important. Listen well. Adjusted 2 Chevron mob to deal more damage and have less health. 1 Chevron Mire can now correctly turn Ashen. 1 Chevron Spiders can now correctly turn Ashen. Hungry Wolves no longer goes Ashen. Increase my health to compensate for lack of armor. Reduce Ashen Bear ability damage slightly. Reduce damage over time on low-level Deep Bat Bleeds. Prevented Ashen Muck Reaper ability Mud Bath from re-triggering VFX. Range Rat in Northreach will now spawn both day and night, which will be very useful for the Brigand when they are doing their Brigand quest. Otherwise, they were a little bit in trouble to find a rat for their quest to become a Brigand. Increase the Fetid Elk Raccoon spawn rate in Highland Hills. Increase 1 Chevron Snatch Scale Forager and Hunter spawn rate in Retro Reach. Eastern Ring 2 Chevron spawn in Retro replaced with 1 Chevron spawn. That's certainly to fit the new task. Additional cleanup of mobs wandering into solo loops. And then I will really suggest you, in case you are not aware of the Martial change, Martial adjusted alchemy abilities. Alt Alchemy 1 and 2 range increased. Alt Alchemy 2 root is changed to a stun. Target struck when stun, take extra damage. Pressure Alchemy 1 duration is increased. Pressure Alchemy 2 all offensive stats of the target are reduced instead of just haste. Pursuit Alchemy 1 and 2 range increased. And around Alchemy 1 additionally stuns nearby target. And around Alchemy 2, stun is a hard stun. Quick Strike, Alchemy 1 and 2, execute type mechanic added. Bonus damage multiplier the lower the target's health is. And Parry, Alchemy 1 and 2, additionally add stamina regen. More alchemy refinement to come. Keep the feedback flowing. There it is. Are you playing a Martial?
I'm not playing a Martial, no. There's a lot of changes though to digest there.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of change. Sorry, I need to drink something because my throat is not going fine.
I like the anvils in Ridge for Ridge. I think that's a good addition. And interested to see what those 2C mobs, what the difference in fighting those is going to be.
Yeah, I think it's something that players have been complaining about, to have to get out of Retro Reach to be able to repair.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit annoying when you are in the middle of an adventure to have to go through a very long way to be able to continue. Or you had to stock on repair kit, obviously.
Yeah, and I do a lot of AoE fighting too, like with my warlord. So usually with 2C. So I'm really curious how that's going to pan out with the more damage versus hit points. But it'd be interesting to try that new mechanic out and see how the behavior is for those.
Yeah, because it might be more dangerous, but at the same time, if you dish out enough damage, it should be fine too. So, yeah. It's going to be different for sure. All right, let's get into the new stuff now. Look at this. New stuff, new solo loop. So we have been telling you that we were adding a new solo Ember Vein loop for a solo player, but also when you are looking for a group, you can do something. 3 new Ember Vein solo loop are coming online. Each comes with new one chevron named and unique loot. Those can be found in Torchbug Tunnels, Watcher Folly, which are in Northreach, and Flooded Ruins, which is in Retro Forest. This brings our total to 6 out of 12 Ember Vein having solo loop. Expect more to come in 2024. And look at those beautiful images for the solo loop.
Yeah, I peeked in the one on the test server and was excited to see that option coming. So keep them coming. Love the solo loops. Great places to also just get your regions as well.
Yeah, that's true, and to farm some Ember Essence.
Exactly.
So here, obviously, for the Northreach Ember Veins, they are very much the first Ember Vein you're doing as a new player. So that will be more the type of activity to, you know, get accustomed to the game, or to maybe go with another person when you're waiting for the full group to complete to do the other part of the Ember Vein. There's some Ashen Creature, but I've seen they are less frequent. You don't need as much Ember Essence at those level. Some people have not done the Ember Stone quests when they are tackling into those Ember Vein, and in some other occasion. And you don't have Alchemy unlocked either, so you don't need as much Ember Essence at that level 15-ish or 10.
Yeah, I just remember how important the solo loop was in Aquifer, and then I guess the one right after that was in Undercroft with also the duo loop with the 2 chefs, and then the group content. So really, really think this is a great move to help that solo experience out.
Yeah, that's exactly the goal. It's part of this big initiative of ensuring that every player have solo activities to do when they are waiting for a group to form, or when they don't have the time to set up a group, or if the group ended or cancelled or whatever reason it might be. It gives some incentive and some way to progress your character even to you're not in group. And even to it's a solo group, I think to solo loop are nice to do with two players as well.
Yeah, especially with the increase in the single Chev mob experience. You can definitely get more experience than you could in the past when you were fighting the solos, the 2 Chev or the 1 Chev mobs with 2 people, I should say.
Yeah. And here the built-in boar, so it will be time to explain a little bit what it is all about. Built-in boar can be found in each overland zone near high traffic area and outpost. The residents of those zones have requested help from drifters to deal with their troubles in the form of built-in. Those are bite-sized adventures that whet your appetite for larger excursion. Clicking on a sealed envelope will accept a randomized bulletin, which provides a brief note from a local detailing the request, the appropriate level range, and the objective to complete. A single bulletin may be active for each zone, and you will be unable to obtain another until it is completed. And here you can see the example of how it goes with the closed notes and the task you have accepted with the level range. So really choose things of your level because it will be much more efficient. Bulletin are tracking within your log on the Bulletin tab. While all bulletin are designed to be completable by a solo player, objectives can also be completed with a group content within the same zone or nearby Ember Veins. Once completed, the bulletin can be handed back at any bulletin board within that zone for some experience and the warm welcome buff, which provides a bonus to health regen in thanks for the service to New Haven. So yeah, that's very important to note that if the quest is asking you, the task is asking you to kill 10 bear, it can be 10 3 chevron bear. It doesn't have to be 1 chevron. So you can be completing those tasks with a group in a Ember vein. The dungeon doesn't count because that's a separate zone, but as long as it's in the same zone, it will complete.
Yeah, it sounds like you could also potentially do some form of faction here, like if you're doing it for a town and you gain faction with a certain people from bulletin boards from that area. So this could be a good stepping stone to that, because I know a lot of people are looking for some sort of faction system.
Yeah.
But really love this bulletin board feature. This looks really cool.
Absolutely. And so when you're playing with other player, it might not be the same task, but you still can group up together to help each other to complete those tasks, etc. And if you're lucky, you will stumble upon the same one, but you will need to be lucky because there's quite some rotating. Currently, bulletin boards only serve simple adventuring bulletin in the form of kill requests. In the near future, we will be expanding this system by adding exploration, discovery, and activity bulletin. Those might include something silly like go to the top of this mountain and dance, or go scout this area for baddies. You may have also noticed a number of coming soon blurbs in the above screenshots. Those are placeholders for gathering and crafting bulletin, which will help you progress your trade skills. It is also important to note that those are not dailies. There's no limit to how many you can turn in, which allow you to do them at your own pace. Each bulletin is drawn randomly from a pool and must be completed before you can acquire another within a specific zone. They cannot be dropped. As mentioned above, we will be expanding the bulletin pool in the coming months with a variety of different objective types. The experience rewarded for each turn in is proportional to the bulletin level range. In order to maximize the benefit from turning in a bulletin, try to do so while you are within its level range.
That's some great news. Love the fact that it's not just the daily. So that's going to make a lot of folks happy.
Yeah, that's what something that we find important, because the dailies kind of pressure you into logging every day, and that can turn off some player while motivating some other. But we find that it also leads to fear of missing out and some addictive patterns that are not super healthy. So that's not something we want to promote. We just wanted to offer possibility for players to progress their character, to gain some extra experience while doing some specific goal, or to just have fun doing something, having this feel of completion. You can work on your task and your hunting log at the same time and gaining some experience. Isn't that beautiful? Now, it is true that it's just kill quest, but this is just the beginning of the system. So please give your feedback, give your ideas if this gives you some ideas of new tasks we could do. We have some ideas already, like those mentioned already. We want to also encourage players to explore and to have fun, to discover things and to do silly little things, little activity. Like Undone said while we were plotting this new feature, he said, it's like the weekly game, but in the game now.
Yeah, maybe do some gathering quest and then get experience towards your foresting, and instead of just adventure. That would be a pretty cool feature as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what's coming soon. So you will have your adventuring bulletin, you will have the gathering bulletin, and you will have the crafting bulletin. That will come later on. So this is really just the beginning of this new feature. Alright, that was for the new stuff. Now let's speak about the server memory leak fixes, because that's pretty important too. Many of you may remember past effort to curb a server-side memory leak in late 2022. Unfortunately, those efforts led to some nasty server deadlocks, which resulted in us quickly reverting our fixes. And you have link if you want more explanation about those. Rather than continue risking the stability of our live server, we opted to double our server's memory, which in a sense kicked the can down the road. This problem never really went away and has merely normally being managed through our weekly maintenance. However, with more zones coming online and our focus on growing the community, this issue needs to be revisited sooner than later. This month we're implementing server memory leak fixes in a more carefully. Previously, the code was hardwired and could not be easily enabled or disabled without performing a server build, which can take upward of 2 hours, during which time the servers may become unstable. Switches for this code have all been moved to the database, which allow us to toggle individual fixes without much effort. Those have been on QA for the past months and have had no adverse effect thus far. But given that the QA environment is far less active than the live, there is no real way to know if things will be stable for an extended period of time. The current game plan is to launch with all those fixes enabled and closely monitor active zones for issues. If one crops up, we will start disabling individual fixes until we reach a stable state, which should give us further insight into the problem. We are hopeful that everything will be fine and no one will even notice. But if a zone stopped responding, please let us know so we can catch it as soon as possible. We appreciate your patience in this. So yeah, this is pretty important, and so everyone needs to be aware of this. If things get wonky, if things get unstable, start to lag very badly, or other hiccups, please let us know. You can use the /report command or contact us directly on Discord.
Yeah, lots of fixes in there, and I may have missed it, but was I believe what is referred to as the cha-cha-cha. I was going to actually do it for a second from the ravens and other those larger creatures, but that was resolved, I believe, because it was fixed. It looked like a lot of that was fixed on the test server, and I noticed the behavior on the test server was much better. I may have missed it because I can barely see the writing.
Yeah, we were talking about this and I didn't read it, so I'm trying to see where it was, because I've not read everything today, because we have been talking about it last week's as well.
In the tech section, someone said, I was just curious because I didn't hear you read it, but if it's in there, then that's a good thing, because they were definitely behaving a lot better and should be a lot easier to fight now, as well as like the Drolls and Arcos, for example.
I think it's here. Reduce the speed at which NPCs back up during combat and adjusted positional target calculation to be more accurate. This should reduce the frequency of large mob backing up too far while adjusting and then moving forward too quickly, getting stuck in a forward-backward loop. More fixes are in testing and should be on QA next month. So that's the cha-cha-cha fix.
Got it. Yep.
But
that's exciting news, because I there's a lot of times where I didn't even want to fight whatever it was because I knew the behavior of the mob. It was so frustrating. But when I tried it on test the other day, I definitely noticed a huge difference. So thanks for getting that thing fixed.
yeah, that's great. Yes, it's all the kind of things we need to work on, and it's done step by step. As a reminder, we're still a very teeny team, so can only do so much at once. But we are working on things we want to improve the game. All right, let's get into the topic of the week, and let's discuss in depth about the new feature, and especially the bulletin board. What kind of activity would you like to see in those tasks?
So you mean in the current hunting or the current bulletin boards, or in future bulletin boards?
Yeah, future ones, like what are the kind of things you would like to see?
So as mentioned, some of the crafting thing are the ones where you would get experience towards like prospecting and things like that, or maybe like an assassination quest. Like I hear there's a roaming NPC in Red Shore. Like let's go assassinate this guy and maybe get a special piece of loot from him. I think the sky's the limit when you have this bulletin board system. I was going to say if somebody can flag you as PvP and then put them on the bulletin board if they missed if they tick some people off, you could go hunt and kill somebody from a bulletin board, like your face on the side of a piece of paper in the post office, like a wanted. But I know that we're not going any PvP routes with
No,
Embers.
PvP probably not, but I really like the idea of the assassination, actually. I think that's great. If you had like
Yeah.
a few targets in every zone, that could be something really nice because it will be a little bit different than go kill 20 quillback in Middleland. You know where to
Hmm.
find those. But if you had, one of Booty of the Exile Raiders and you had to find one specifically, it's a whole different type of adventure. So one of our idea with the bulletin board was to give you a kind of adventure that you can do solo. A little bit the same type of feeling you have in a group. You need to cross the land, you need to reach a certain zone, you need to reach a certain area. There is all kind of adventure that can arrive on the way, and sometimes mishaps, or you stumble upon a chest or whatever it is. And so we kind of wanted to give that sense of adventure as well when you are solo playing. So you can also have your own little, little story going on there.
Yeah, I kind of like the thought of having different objectives as opposed to just killing, like reach the highest peak in a certain zone or survive a fall from so much distance, things like that.
Yeah.
And kind of be unique outside of the regular kill quest.
Races and delivery to point X and X in a certain number of minutes, propose Natalata. That's also a good idea. But all of that
Yeah.
need new tech, so the tech need to be implemented to be able to do that, which is why you have the simple version of those bulletin board, because we wanted to get the concept out as fast as possible so you guys can see it, experience it, have fun with it, and then we will complete and develop it further on the way rather than waiting that everything is ready, because we definitively have to put more activity into this. It's incomplete as it is right now.
Yeah, I think you could also do something along the lines of having like a buried treasure chest. Hey, we hear that there was a chest buried by some faction or people up in a certain area, and you could go search for the buried chest. One other thing that I just happened to stumble upon the other day is I was swimming in the lake in Grizzle Peaks, and I looked down in first person, and you can see the bottom of the lake. And I was thinking, how cool would it be to have like treasure chests underwater where you could go dive and loot them? So just a thought on some of the treasure chests, because I love to run around and hunt for those. So I think you could not only put them in a bulletin board, but potentially, I know it would be new features to be able to swim underwater, but
Yeah.
to look underwater and find a chest would be a kind of cool feature as well.
Yeah, I think we would love to have underwater, maybe not combat because that's a whole other thing, but already just exploring underwater would be really great. That being said, water is super tricky. There's a reason why most MMORPG don't have underwater content. So when you think about it, you have World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2 doing it brilliantly, Arcade and Black Desert. I'm not sure for Black Desert, but Arcade for sure. And Final Fantasy included it very late, and it's kind of weird because you're kind of zoning in a different zone and then you are in water. But it's kind of, you see that it's difficult. And I saw a whole discussion on the Elder Scroll Online show where they were explaining why they were not adding underwater content in their game. But I really would love to have those. And maybe not combat, so you cannot fight, but you can at least, yes, discover some stuff. I think it will be really exciting, but that will have to be, that's a kind of big feature. Just make a water breathing potion. Oh yeah, that you need to farm on some mobs, on Mire. You need to drop the recipe on Mire, something like that, or frogs. So fishing is definitively something we want, and we're very excited to add to the game. So it's going to be there at some point. We're not talking about the roadmap today because the roadmap discussion will come in a very near future. and we're going to talk about it, but I can tell you that fishing is on it. Okay, so it will be happening this year. I'm not saying when, but it's going to happen this year. It's a whole new system we need to design, and that can have a lot of implication in other system, because what will you do with your fish? It will be stupid to not do some cooking recipe with it. Is it something that you like to do, Genera fishing in other MMORPGs?
Yeah, there's I think New World. I did a lot of fishing just because that was pretty fun, and you could get some pretty good stuff in that. It kind of adds a mini game. So yeah, I think it'd be a good addition where you could, potentially like with the fish, you could get the different foods or skin the fish, or hey, let it rot and use it as a taunt. There's a lot of things I guess you could do with fish in this case.
Yeah, we are working on a. We have been discussing about quite some really exciting things for fishing, too. But one thing at a time. So first, we're working on this and some other stuff that will be announced soon. So this new feature that we just added, the bulletin board, is part of an effort that we are doing, which is basically to give some more activities to do during your downtime while you're playing without a group, or when you want to find a group but you don't have friend online or something, or if you just want to play by yourself, because some days you might be in the mood of playing by yourself. That being said, we're also very careful to not make the game all solo centered like a lot of modern MMORPG has become, and so it doesn't overshadow the need of and the want of finding a good group to do some nice together adventure. So it is really a question of finding the right balance between those activities and to really have the solo play nourishing the group play. That's our goal, and we are doing this with this new task system with the solo loop in Embers, but we are also working on some other solution to really serve the community. I think that's very much our main goal in 2024, is to make the game very attractive for players to play together, and we really want to polish the experience so it stay within our vision, but it might be a little bit more smooth on the edge.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is people just want options based on what's currently going on in their life. Do they have time to invest into a group, or do they just have maybe 30 minutes to an hour before they have something else to do to knock out some solo stuff? So just giving people the options to play at any time, and either commit or don't commit to a group, but also knowing that this game really shines when you're in a 5 or 6 man and you're dungeon crawling. That's really where this game does shine. But just to have the option to do other things when you can't commit to that group, or you're waiting to get for a group, I think it's a welcome feature that everybody can appreciate.
Yes. So I have a question here. Are Epic still on the road or next year? No, it's on this road for this year, but it will not be next month. I cannot really talk about what's going on next month, but we're working on something quite big, which is still within this sphere of welcoming more players and encouraging the community to play together and all those kind of things. You will know more very soon, and soon the roadmap will be revealed to you. It has been worked on, discussed among the team, and it will be published soon. So very soon, friends, stay tuned. Maybe next week, who knows, maybe. Not promising you anything, but it might be the case. So, Genera, something that I would like to ask you, because we see you playing a lot with the endgame players in large group, yeah, big gathering, because to kill this mammoth boss, you need to be more than just one group. But you are also one of those players that really, really enjoy soloing in the game. So when someone is asking, can I solo in Embers Adrift, you're probably one of the best person to answer that question.
Yeah, you definitely, it helps to pick a solo-friendly class. having like a self heal goes a long way. Also, potentially helping that hit point regen. I know that that's a frustration for a lot of folks, that there's a lot of downtime and the food in the game doesn't seem like it really gives you much increase in regen between battles, and that can hurt soloing. But there are a lot of solo options here. Picking a solo friendly class again does help. But I do solo a lot, but really the group or the game shines when you're in a full group, and you're doing that full dungeon crawl, and all the different classes are represented. You've got your typical tank, DPS, and support, and CC. So it's good that you've offered a solo option, but still knowing that to get the best loot or to get the best gear, you're going to really have to go into a dungeon or get into a group to do it, which is the way it should be. You gotta, the harder it is, the more reward you should get.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have a lot to talk about this week, but I would like to do a little reminder, because there is a post on the forum, which is a sad post. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I need to take a very dramatic voice. I'm not sure where to post this, but if anything, this could be used as a suggestion, so I pick it here. I was very lucky to get the two-hand sword from Stark, another craft, not even a week ago. My bad luck always overrules my good luck. Tonight, after running solo loop in Undercroft, I ran to town to sell vendor trash. While selling, I must have right-clicked on a bronze greatsword that just so happened to look just like the Stark sword, which made me equip it and sell my newly acquired treasured sword. I am so mad right now, I can't even think of its name. I ran back to town after realizing the mistake, but my buyback list was cleared. I know it's a long shot, but if I could possibly get this item back, somehow I would greatly appreciate it. In the very least, this should not be so easy to happen. I know this has happened to me before, but last time the items looked different, so it was easy to notice. This time, it was the same graphics. Let me know if anything can be done, please. Unfortunately, we cannot restore item. And it's the reason why we do have the buyback feature. So guys, be very, very careful when that happens. And I absolutely realize that it happened to me as well. I've done exactly the same thing and I lose my item. Before we didn't even have the buyback option. Now we have a buyback option, and the time is quite reduced. So I'm going to see with the team if it's possible to increase that time slightly, maybe 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, something like that, which gives you a little bit more time to realize your mistake. Because very often it's not right when you sell it that you realize you have done a mistake, but it's when you're back in the dungeon and you say, oh shit, that was not the right weapon, what happened to me? So Anarch, I'm really sorry that happened to you. It was beautifully written. I wanted to read your post because of it, and also to remind people to really pay attention to those type of misadventure, because we cannot restore your item. We cannot do it. So we don't have the abilities of giving you back an item. Even as GM, I cannot spawn, let's say, that named item. I have not the capacity, the technical capacity to do it. So pay attention to what you sell. That's very important. We will see on our side if we can do something to help you out with those mistakes. But pay attention.
Yeah, it looks like some folks were suggesting an item lock, which is a good idea. I know a lot of folks don't want to augment the items either, because then you might not be able to trade it to another person. But you can, if you're going to trade it to alt, you can augment it, and it gives you that little warning about, hey, are you sure you want to augment or sell this soulbound item? Kind of as a current way you could get an extra check before you sell it.
Yeah, something like item lock in the inventory that could be good. So you're locking your equipment and you don't, equip by mistake that shitty sword that you're going to sell. That would be a solution. Increase the time where you can buy back could be a solution. The color coded item. That's something we have been discussing longly during the weekly meeting. It is a big project that we want to do, like some of many big projects we have, like the crafting revamp and all those kind of things. So there's plenty of things we want to do. We just need to allocate the time to do it, and it's always the same problem. We are a small team. This is not as an excuse, but it's just a fact. So we can only work on things one by one, and there's only so much that we can do, even with our best intention and our best effort. So we have to be smart and wise in how we are developing the game and how we are correcting it. So please be patient with us. Thank you so very much for being patient, and we are doing our best to improve the game, add new content, correct what needs to be corrected, and ensure that we have a nice product that you can enjoy together with friends.
Yeah, I know that buyback feature was initially added because of, I remember like back in the day, you didn't even have a chance to buy back. You sold it and it was gone. So
Yeah.
yeah, that extra step at least helped prevent a lot of those accidents from happening after that was added.
Yeah, but that is only 30 minutes. Usually it only serve you when you just did it and you're like, oh no, shit, what I have done, oops, which happened to me quite regularly. But it doesn't help if you have not really paid attention to what happened, like the case exposed, that so typical. You swap the weapon, you don't realize that you did. You sell the good one instead of selling the trash one, and it's only when you're back in the dungeon that you realize, why I'm doing so shitty damage. Oh shit, oh no, I have a trash. Where is gone my precious? So I understand how heartbreaking it is, especially some loot is hard to find. Yeah, definitively the Atlas. So to have the ability of checking out all your map is something we have been discussing also about. I'm not sure that it's something we will be adding, but it is certainly among the ideas we have been toying around. It is worse than falling to retrieve the little worm in the game. Yeah, absolutely. That can be fun. What do you think about a task where you need to catch up several worms, or at least one? Would that be nice, or would that be horrible? Like, you don't like it. Would be so frustrating. You don't want to do the task anymore. You just swap zone.
Yeah, I like chasing those things. They well, until they go up the walls that you can't get to them. But I like the fact they give Iridescence now,
Yeah.
and I think it would be a good task to add to it.
The trolley task. Also need the ability to abandon a quest. So the quest, we cannot abandon them. Not with the way we have created the tech, because you have different paths, you have different rewards, you have different things. So we cannot do that. A task, that's something I guess we can discuss. I think it has not been done, so you cannot like rotate. No, I just want to kill bear, and then you just abandon until you go back to the kill bear thing. So I think that's why the tasks have not been. You cannot drop them for now. We need worm traps. I agree. That would be funny. Did anyone choose the option of stealing from Gildan? I never dared to do it for some reason. So Gildan, being one of the first quests you're doing in the game, is at the Halik Tower. It's a cartographer. You need to complete the map of New Haven Valley, but you can also steal him. Natalata did it. Knock Knock did it by accident. Oops.
Yeah, I messed up the, I think it was the Evangeline quest by asking for money with the reward and got a whole separate list of things that I did not need. So usually if you try to take shortcuts in the game or ask for money, you pay for it in lesser rewards.
Yeah, so this was something important for us to be able to do the quest in a more role-playing matter where you have consequences to your decision. All right, time to go to the weekly game. Let's do this. Let's pick up a winner and let's see what the contestants have done this week. In case you didn't know, what is the weekly game? The weekly game is a little game you can play on Discord. I give you a task, which is different from the bulletin board, and you have to complete it and send me a screenshot on Discord in a specific channel called the weekly game. So let's see what we had last week. Take a screenshot, including what is your lowest creature kill in your hunt log? Up that count by 10 creators. 2 screenshots per player, showing up your hunt log before and after. So the first entry is from Perplex Purple Pixel, which had 2 bats. And now he has 12 bats. Congratulations. Aluna. It was the basilics. 2 basilic. Now 12 basilic. Hawks, 13 It was the mandrake. From 13 mandrake to 23 mandrake. Raven hearts, 1 spider to 11 spider. What's number 5? That was bat as well, or mandrake. What did he choose? Oh no, it was a wood clan. Oh my god. 63 wood clan. I got a little carried away, went over the +10. That's alright, you can do that. And then Flab, which was emberflies. 1 emberfly and 17 emberfly. It's not the wolf. So we have 7 and 3. Let's now pick up the winner. The winner will win 1 gold. 1 gold when you are low level is really, really nice. Genera, do you have a difficulty to make money in the game?
You start to learn what items sell for a lot, like the ash, for instance. So you can stack that in your bag and collect that and sell for a lot. Weapons at higher levels sell for like 12 silver a pop. So you kind of start to learn what does and doesn't sell, and kind of could keep that. Really, the main thing I use, or most high levels use for gold, is to just upgrade that bag space.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's quite expensive and it's very precious. I'm working on that myself. As a reminder, Guy, there's a trade fair to earn money, make business with other players. The trade fair happens every Sunday in New Haven City at 2 p.m. Central American time or 9 p.m. Central Europe time. And that's the best occasion to trade with other players because it's a gathering which is well known in the community, but also to play with players and to have a chat, to discuss with player. I try to add some little activities, sometimes some mini games. One day I did duel tournament. One day I do a hide and seek. Last week I did some role play with players, and it was fun. So it's a good time for gathering with other players. Now let's pick up the winner. We have 7 entries. Yeah, you can see my wheel. So we have 7 and 3. Let's see who's winning 1 gold. It's the number 3. Congratulations, number 3. Who is the number 3? The number 3 is Hog. Congratulations, Hog. You have won. You and your Mandrake target, you have won. So now, what is the new game for next week? Well, I forgot to prepare it. I'm so sorry. I worked on the trailer this night. I forgot the weekly game, but it will be related to the bulletin board, of course, because that's a new thing. So what do you expect? Of course, we're going to do weekly game about the bulletin board. All right. So that's it for today. Genera, do you have anything that you want to share with the community?
Just go out there and explore, have fun. Be kind to your fellow players. Really look forward to trying out this new content. I've got some characters at various levels that I'm really anxious to get in here and try out. I love the fact that there's names in the single Chev loops. I've kind of seen some of the cool gear that's come out of the Shriek EV, and looking forward to testing these out with some of my lower levels. So, really excited about these changes, as well as the bulletin board is, I think, are really going to be a good way to fill that kind of time that you're either looking for a group or you can't commit to one. So, thanks again for all the hard work you all have done, and for listening to the players here.
Well, thank you for playing our game and for continuing to support us, to each and every one of you that are currently playing or that have played Embers Adrift. Thank you so very much, like sincerely, thank you so very much for trying our game, for playing our game, for continuing to play our game, for coming back to our game. Come back to the game if you stopped. Come, it's a good moment. Like, let's go. But yeah, so I can tell you, Genera, already that in the Torchbug Ember Vein, there's a very nice pair of glove. I was like, wow, with plus something hits. I don't remember, but it was quite a large number. I was very, very impressed. So even if you're a solo player, you can find some really nice loot on those named mob. I guarantee you it's going to be really nice. So which one of those are interesting you the most, Genera?
I'm kind of looking forward to the Flooded Ruins one, just because it's that's such a unique dungeon. So really looking forward to that, and also maybe to extract some revenge on those bats in the bat EV. So that'll be nice to give them a little payback.
Yes, everyone wants to pay back the bats, for sure. While it's the cutest animal, like seriously, I have this screenshot where it is. Look at that. It's the cutest creature that we have in the game. And it's one of the nastiest. Okay, look at those cuties. Now come back. Look at those cuties. And they're so mean. Xerwolf disagree with me. They're not cute. Come on. You will want to have a plushie as a bat, no? Are
They
you?
look even more menacing when they're ashen too.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they're very nice. All right. Well, that's it for the community show this week. Genera, once again, thank you so very much for your visit. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you very much for streaming the game and sharing all the content you're sharing and taking care of the community that way. Guys, please give a follow to Genera, hang out with him. It's a very chill and relaxed stream. Ideal to keep up on your second screen while you're playing the game yourself, for example, or working if you cannot play the game. It will be time to say goodbye, Genera.
All right, thanks all for the time again. Appreciate the forum, and just swing on by the Twitch anytime. I'll be happy to help you guys.
Thank you so much. See you soon, everyone. You take care of yourself, and do not forget you can check out this community show every week during the maintenance live on Twitch TV. We have a co-host a guest every week, someone different. Next week will be Sparrow. And you can, of course, follow those adventures and those discussions on the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Thank you very much. Give a like, a share, write a comment, and I will see you soon in game or on Twitch. Take care, everyone. Bye.